Ascension. Oh my goodness, do I have a treat for me and for you. So, this is the Codex. It is a brand new deck that was created by Daniel Martin Diaz. I was not expecting this. It came as a surprise to me yesterday. I know I said I'm not doing reviews unless they're special decks, right? Well, I would never refuse a Daniel Martin Diaz deck. I'm just saying. I told him several months ago that if he's got anything that he wants shown, send it my way because I love everything that he does. But this codex came out of a time of, well, let me read it to you, and that will explain a little bit more out of the book. So, emergence of the Codex. This deck was never something that was planned. It came into existence through interruption. After a car accident and a long stretch of recovery from a concussion, the ability to make art or music was taken away. With that came a sense of disconnection and loss of purpose. During this stressful period, I revisited older works without intention. Something unexpected surfaced. Certain images carried the presence of tarot. Others felt rooted in divination. Even the formats fit that language. I felt a new purpose. I began gathering pieces created across many years, works shaped by different moments and states of mind. Unlike previous decks built around a single concept, this one formed as an assemblage of mystical and arcane ideas already embedded in the work. Slowly, it began to feel like a codex, something rediscovered rather than invented. It recalled the way tarot readers sometimes pull from multiple decks at once, allowing symbols to overlap and deepen. That layering became central to the deck's tone. A codex, historically, is a bound collection of knowledge, a way of holding fragments together in dialogue. This deck functions in the same way. Omen, Ascension, Cosmos, Witcher, and Alignment exist as a system rather than answers. Together they form a codex of intuition, where meaning emerges through relationship, not resolution. The aesthetic language draws from symbolic knowledge, occult systems, and scientific infographics. Anatomy, cosmology, metaphysics, and esoteric diagrams appear in subtle tones and restrained color. Mystery is not decorative here, it is intentional. Each image holds space for reflection rather than instruction. This deck is offered as a tool for divination, not prediction. Divination listens, it reflects. I hope it stays beside you on your life's journey, revealing different guidance and messages as your life evolves. The guidebook serves as support, not authority. In time, you may not use it as your intuition with this deck becomes more familiar. Through repeated use, each card will speak differently. You will find different symbols and messages over time, drawing out personal insight, character, and meaning. I hope it becomes one of your tools and evolves with you, offering wisdom and magic for many years to come. So, this is what the book looks like. Much like his other books, like one whole page of information, right? We'll get in that. We'll get to that, I should say. Came with this art, which is so friggin' cool. I would never refuse any of his decks because I love his concepts. I love the fact that during a time of disconnection, this arose. Somebody who has a body of work brought new inspiration. I think that is very inspirational. I love the box. I think it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And this book does fit right in there, right? But I took it out. And as in the same style as his other decks, he does have a regular tuck box. A tuck box inside of the box, just to keep your stuff straight. And these are such high quality boxes too. You know I'm not a fan of tuck boxes, but these are just really good. Now, I've already used these. I've done a couple of readings with them, so they're mixed up. This is the cover page, or the cover card. These are the backs. The inside is plain for that. And then, like his other ones, the DMD initials. So I'm just going to bring one card up at a time. And then we will do a couple of different cards. We'll draw a couple of different cards so that you can see how it reads, okay? Salvation. Teleportation. Cataclysm. Wow. Anguish. Wow. Transformation. Transfiguration. Soul. Wisdom. Immortal. Veratus. Yeah, I think that's it. Watcher. Martyr. Transmutation. Alignment. Cosmos. Earth. I can't remember, did it say how many cards were in here? If it didn't, 65. So a really healthy amount of cards for an oracle deck. Origin. Ooh. Water. Telepathy. Guidance. Prophecy. Transmission. Wow. And I just love this stuff. I love his artwork. I love the words that he uses. Awareness. Harbinger. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Gnosis. Oh, my goodness. Apparition. Ooh. Celestial. Enigma. Ascension. Seer. Tribulation. Qualia. Witcher. Veiled. I think this time, instead of drawing, I think I'm going to pick out some cards. Maybe like 6. Remembrance, sorry. I'm not remembering to do it. Freudian slip, right? Revelation. Plague of truth. Failure of man. Huh. Communion. Wow. Telesthesia. Wow. Order. Crucible. Connection. Enchantment. Perception. Occult. Presence. Confusion. Judgment. Demagogue. Fire. Makes me think of Stranger Things and the Demigorgon. All right. Automaton. Air. Awakening. Hierarchy. Atonement. Nostalgia. Metaphysics. Oh, look at that Justice card. Temptation. Transcendence. Equilibrium. Alchemy. Omen. Ooh, Clairvoyance. And death. All right. So let me pause just for a minute and let me get like 6 cards. Okay, let me pick out 6 cards. Okay, so the first card that I pulled out was Telepathy. This is what it looks like. Let me just read it to you right quick. Connection, transmission, resonance. 2 beings face one another across the thin veil of mortality. Their thoughts meeting before words are formed. Telepathy is the exchange that bypasses speech, a current moving through emotion, memory, and instinct. This card speaks of invisible dialogue, of feeling another's presence in the mind, sensing what remains unspoken, and recognizing that consciousness is not confined to the body. You are more connected than you realize. When this card is unveiled, communication intensifies beneath the surface. Someone may be thinking of you strongly, or a shared understanding is forming without effort. Pay attention to emotional shifts, sudden thoughts of another, or moments of deep empathy. This is a time to listen inwardly rather than explain outwardly. Trust the resonance that you feel. It carries truth that language often distorts or delays. So in reverse, it says signals may be crossed through projection, fear, or emotional overload. You may be absorbing what is not yours. Create boundaries and return to your own center before interpreting messages. And below that it says minds are meeting beyond words. Listen carefully, feel deeply, and allow silent understanding to guide your next response. All right, so the next card I chose was Soul. So essence, awareness, and inner continuum. A figure stands filled with eyes, marked by radiant forms at the head, heart, and core. Soul speaks to the animating presence within, the witness behind thought, the consciousness that observes experience without being consumed by it. This card represents the totality of being, body, mind, memory, and spirit aligned within a single field of awareness. Nothing here is accidental. Every mark, every gaze suggests perception layered upon perception. When this card appears, attention is drawn inward. You are being asked to recognize who you are beneath roles, habits, and narratives. The soul is not fragmented by circumstance. It remains whole even when life feels divided. This is a moment to listen deeply to intuition, to moral clarity, to the quiet knowing that does not argue. Alignment between inner truth and outer action restores vitality. Soul also speaks of integration. Past and future converge in the present self. What you honor internally shapes what manifests externally. Care for your inner world. It governs all others. So the reversed is disconnection, disassociation, or neglect of inner truth. You may be living out of alignment with your essence. Return inward. And then below that it says your soul always knows the way. Presence restores coherence, meaning, and direction. The next one I chose is Cosmos. We've got unity, order, infinite pattern. A vast architecture unfolds where spheres nest within spheres and fire encircles form. Cosmos is the reminder that nothing exists in isolation. Every thought, action, and breath participates in a larger design, precise, rhythmic, and alive. This card speaks of harmony beneath apparent chaos, of an intelligent shaping worlds, of an intelligence shaping worlds both inward and outward. You are not lost in randomness. You are moving within a living system that responds to awareness. When this card is revealed, perspective widens. Personal concerns begin to realign within a greater context. You may sense timing, cycles, or synchronicity guiding events beyond your control, yet not beyond your participation. Trust the structure that you cannot see. What feels distant or abstract now is influencing your path in subtle but exact ways. Alignment comes from understanding your place within the whole, not from dominating it. In reversed, it says disconnection, fragmentation, or loss of meaning may arise. You may feel untethered from purpose or overwhelmed by scale. Return to the present moment. Order is restored through grounded attention. It says you are part of something vast in intelligence. Align with the greater pattern, and clarity replaces confusion through awareness. I love it. So the next one I chose is Gnosis. I mean, that looks so freaking cool. So we've got insight, revelation, and direct truth. A skeletal form opens to reveal what lies beneath doctrine and surface belief. The living circuitry of knowing itself. Gnosis is not learned, it is remembered. This card speaks of truth received directly, bypassing authority, tradition, or explanation. The eye at the center signals awareness that sees inward, where knowledge arises from experience rather than instruction. When you seek, what you seek cannot be handed to you. It must be recognized. When this card is unveiled, insight arrives suddenly and with certainty. A realization clicks into place without argument or proof. You may feel isolated in this knowing, as others cannot yet perceive what is obvious to you. That is part of the initiation. Gnosis often strips away comfort, illusion, and borrowed beliefs, leaving only what is real. Trust what you have seen. It has changed you permanently. The reversed is doubt, external validation, or fear of standing alone may weaken your confidence. You may be ignoring an inner truth in favor of consensus. Return to direct experience and listen again. So below that it says, truth is already within you. Trust direct knowing. Release borrowed beliefs and let insight guide you beyond illusion into clarity. The next one I chose was awareness, recognition, integration, and clarity. A living landscape unfolds within the mind. Roots, circuitry, memory, and growth woven into a single vision. Awareness is the act of seeing without distortion, noticing patterns, influences, and truths as they are, not as they are wished to be. This card speaks of consciousness expanding through observation. Nothing here is separate. Past experience, past perception, and future direction are all in conversation now. When this card presents itself, understanding deepens quietly. You may begin to see how systems connect, how emotions inform choices, how environment shapes thought, how history echoes through the present moment. Insight comes not through force, but through attention. What once felt confusing starts to arrange itself into meaning. Awareness is not judgment, it is acceptance paired with responsibility. Seeing clearly gives you the power to choose differently. Reversed, you may be avoiding a truth or overwhelmed by too much information. Mental clutter or denial can dull perception. Simplify. Step back and observe without reacting. And down below it says clarity grows through honest observation. See the whole picture, integrate what you learn, and let awareness guide conscious, intentional change. I love it. And the last card I chose is Origin. Keywords are beginning, source, and first cause. Above the pyramids, a spiral in form descends, measured by geometry and time. Origin speaks of the first impulse, the moment before form, when intention becomes structure. This card points to foundations, where something truly began, not as a story told later, but as an essential truth. All paths lead back to a source, and understanding that source clarifies everything that followed. When this card appears, you are being asked to return to the beginning. This may involve tracing a pattern, belief, relationship, or conflict back to its roots. What started this? What was the original need, wound, or vision? The image suggests alignment between the cosmic and the earthly. What begins above must eventually take form below. You are connecting with primal idea or purpose that has been layered over by time. Origin also signals initiation. A new cycle is forming, informed by ancient knowledge. Move deliberately. Honor what came before, but do not be bound by it. Creation is active now. The reversed is disconnection from purpose or confusion about beginnings. You may be building without understanding the foundation. Pause and reassess. And it says return to the source. Clarity lives there. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about the cardstock. The cardstock is the same as all of his other decks. If you have not had one of Daniel Martin decks before, they are a beautiful linen. This is like the highest quality linen ever. This is one of the reasons why it's not just the artwork. His decks hit every single one of my check boxes. They have good cardstock. The size is perfect. It's a thin cardstock. It's a linen, which is my favorite. It's got a small box, which is not overpowering. It's got a beautiful little book that does exactly what I need to for it. It's a great shuffle, which I will show you now. It even fans. For an oracle deck, it covers the kind of material that is important to me, right? I know this because I know the kind of work that he does. I have enough of his decks now that I see, and just from reading that, I can see. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. Is that not the most beautiful thing ever? Yeah, it's beautiful. It fans like a friggin' dream. They are the best fanners that I have come across. Even better than make playing cards. I think so. It could be make playing cards, but I don't know. They feel different. It's just the most beautiful linen ever. The backs look beautiful. Backs are important to me also. Everything about it. I just love it. So I wanted to do just a few pairings just for you to get an idea of, what works with it. Okay, give me just a minute. First pairing I want to show you is the Earth Magic Tarot, Hermetic Prophecies. This is also by Daniel Martin Diaz. So we've got 7 of Wands and 10 of Swords with Communion. Ooh, how interesting. This makes me think of alien, like mutilations, cattle mutilations. Death was the Knight of Swords and 8 of Coins. Oh, boy. 7 of Cups, 3 of Wands, and Awareness. Oh, yes. Ooh, Seer. Death and the Emperor. Oh. Wow. I don't want to tell you what I saw in that. 2 of Cups and 5 of Wands and Tribulation. Six of Wands and Three of Swords with alignment. Ooh. Oops. Last one. Knight of Wands and Ten of Cups with, oh, anguish. How interesting is that? Let me show you a couple other ones. Okay, so the next one that I wanted to pair it with is the Terra Volatile. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm guessing it's like some sort of depth perception, maybe, for telethesia. Let me look at that really quick. Let me find it, because I am wondering about that. I've never heard of that before. There it is, 49. Sorry, I'm just slow. Perception, remote sensation, and contact. A winged figure summons across space, her attention extended beyond the limits of the body. Telethesia is the capacity to feel what is far away, to sense events, emotions, or shifts without physical contact. This card speaks of perception that travels along invisible currents, distance. Okay, I get it. Wow. With the Four of Pentacles and the Tower. Oh, heal. Order with Five of Pentacles and what, Nine of Cups? Yeah, Nine of Cups. Gnosis with Six of Pentacles and Queen of Cups. Wow. Transmutation with the Seven of Pentacles and Eight of Cups. These look amazing together. What is that? Seven of Pentacles. Wow, look at that. And the High Priestess with Confusion. Wowza, look at that. Well, you could get some kind of readings out of these, couldn't you? Eight of Pentacles and what is that? Four of Cups or Four of Vessels and the Martyr or Martyr. Whew. Okay, I've got one more deck that I want to show you with it. And the last one I want to show it with is the Grim Tales Tarot by Fiona Edgewood. Whew, I love this deck so much. I cannot even tell you. It's right up there with the Daniel Martin Diaz decks, because I adore all of his work as well. But the aesthetics of this deck, ooh. So we've got the Fool and the Four of Cups with Crucible. See, I like these together. Qualia with the Magician and Five of Cups. They I think that they complement each other, because this is like a oddities kind of deck already. And this feels like an oddities deck. Different art styles, but I think that they work together. The coloring and everything, I think that they work together. The High Priestess and Six of Cups with Transformation. Ooh. Knight of Swords, Eight of Cups, Veritas, or Veritas. Wisdom with the Devil and Queen of Swords. Yeah, I love it. Connection with the Tower and King. Wow, and King of Swords. Feels like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing. Enchantment, Ace of Pentacles, and the Star. Wow, I love it. So I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. I am so in love with this deck. Daniel, thank you so much for sending me this deck for review. You know, I cannot refuse you, because I love everything that you do, and I think you're a very generous, supportive individual, and I'm all about that, right? But also, I feel like you see me in the creations that you make in every single possible way, with down to the cardstock, the size of the cards, the packaging, the context of the book, the everything. I feel seen and appreciated in your work, and I'm so grateful. And I am so terribly sorry for what you went through recently with your concussion and the time that it took you away from your regular creative mode. But I'm also kind of grateful because this came out of it, right? And I think that you are an inspiration because of your ability to pivot or see invention, or because I don't just see you as an artist, I see you like an engineer or an innovator and a visionary. So anyways, thank you for spending this time with me. I will be putting a link down below where you can get this deck, and I'm sending you my love always. Thank you.